All right, now as a videographer or creator, we like to use visuals to help tell a story, but sometimes you need a little bit of that crispy sound. Audio is just as important to create that immersive experience, especially for those that want to help visualize and just kind of push that story along. Nowadays, we do have a lot of different kind of storytellers out there, whether it be a content creator, a filmmaker, or someone that just likes to make videos in their spare time. With that, you have a range of individuals that use a camera or even their iPhone. So the biggest question now is, what's something that's really good for both a camera and for those that actually like to create on the go using their mobile devices? Oh, this thing? Well, it just might be it. Now, the company Boya has gone ahead and created a very interesting microphone to use that, one, doubles as a condenser, and two, a second set of wireless lavs. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Now, I wouldn't be making this review if this microphone wasn't actually interesting, and I figured you guys might actually benefit from this too. Because for those that want to be a filmmaker, a content creator, or just someone that likes to film regular videos, this is like the all-in-one kind of microphone, so you don't have to worry about buying anything else. Now, I say that because there's a lot going on underneath this mask. This microphone quadruples as your regular set of lav microphones, a desktop microphone, something that you can carry around handheld, or even on camera. Now, Boya has dubbed this the Magic Mic. Literally, that's the actual name, but rightfully so, because the more you kind of unravel this microphone, the more it really shows. Now, starting off in the box, it does come with a ton of different accessories, like this carrying pouch that they actually provide, but inside they actually have a ton of different things that you can use, like this furry wind muff, ones that also pair with the individual microphones, a bunch of regular auxiliary cables and USB-Cs, and it comes with two different adapters, one for your Apple Lightning charger and one for a USB-C. Now, in order to actually use this microphone, it does have a receiver here. The receiver itself has two indicator lights, a plug-in for a USB-C, and an auxiliary. So for those that want to use it with a camera or just plug it into your iPhone, they make it a lot easier for you to do so. You do also have a power button on the side to turn the device or receiver on, and that's where the USB comes in to actually charge the receiver here. But you also have controls for the sound isolation or AI noise reduction. Also, on the bottom of the receiver, you do have this clip here. It was a little loose with my hot shoes, so I did add some tape in to kind of secure it a lot better. But you can also clip this onto a variety of different things, which makes it a lot easier to use. Now, you don't have any fancy screens or anything complicated, and that's because you actually have control through your wireless app. That's right, you also have app control. Now, getting down to the actual microphone here, it really isn't that big. Now, I'm gonna start off from the outside in just to help simplify things for those that wanna just skip through it. But to make it clear, this itself is an actual microphone. It does come with a pop filter on the end here, but you can also replace it with a wind muff or dead cat. But you pretty much have a 6 to 7 inch microphone here with a single button to actually pair the device. And then on the bottom, you also have the receiver that you can magnetically attach. Now, the microphone and the receiver both have a USB-C input, one to actually charge the device or case, the other one to actually power your iPhone or, well, yeah, Lightning, because this is actually an iPhone. But with the USB-C option, you can do the same. It's kind of satisfying that the receivers are actually magnetic, so you can really just attach it and not have to worry that you're gonna lose it. You also have a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom here for those that actually want to use this as a desktop microphone, so you could just set it down and forget about it. It also comes with its own dedicated desktop tripod, so nice touch. Now, based on what I'm looking at on the case/microphone itself, your inputs are coming from the top and the front of the first microphone. So it's kind of curious that it uses a built-in microphone to the case itself, but also utilizes the lavs on the inside to help pick up audio. Now, it does record at a sample rate of 48 kHz and 24-bit audio. So while it isn't 32-bit, it's good enough for those that just want something as a run and gun. But because it also records in two different modes, one being a safety track mode, you're able to actually help minimize any external noises. And while that is still the case, it does have a dynamic range of 144 decibels. So testing this out in a very loud environment here, I was able to capture audio pretty decently, especially if this was just being pulled out of my bag, meaning I didn't have to worry. All right, guys, now we're using the condenser or on-camera microphone mode. This is the actual case producing the audio without any noise reduction on, but with a wind muff on instead. Now, it's pretty clear and pretty concise, and as you can tell, it does sound a bit different. You can now hear a slight difference in the processing as well as the audio, which brings about a little bit more of a clearer sound. You do have a very windy environment, and there is a lot of cars driving by. We're literally right next to a highway right now. But with all this turned on, you still get a pretty decent sounding profile. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn off noise reduction here, like that. And I'm gonna remove anything on it at all. This is how it sounds like without anything filtering it. I have no wind filter. I don't have a pop filter either. This is how regular audio sounds coming from the actual microphone. Now I'm gonna go ahead, turn on noise reduction. There it is. So now you can hear noise reduction turned on the microphone here, but there is no wind muff, there is no pop filter. This is how it sounds regularly. We're gonna go ahead and slide this pop filter on. So now we have a pop filter on the microphone here. This is what is used to kind of clear those any kind of peaking in any voices, which is regular because, you know, people talk differently. Here it is. Look at that. Now we have very clear audio as well. You might get some windy noises coming from it just because there isn't actually anything filtering the sound. But for a microphone that is pretty much plug and play, pretty ideal for those that want to use it on their camera or even your iPhone. Yo, did I just one-shot that entire thing? Now, as we make our way to the inside of the microphone, you'll notice that the clear door features two different microphones. And yes, the microphone has a magnetic door. Nice touch. But also means that if you shake it, it's not gonna open. Now inside you have two separate microphones, one for yourself or one for another person. But just look at how tiny this microphone is. It's like not even the size of my finger here. Because coming in at only 7 grams, you're getting the lightest of the light, which is really impressive because if I really wanted to, I could swallow this microphone. But we don't let our intrusive thoughts win. Now, while this microphone is very small, it does have a dedicated button for on and off, but a single press also activates the noise cancellation. Nice. And then as we go onto the back, you still have a real clip that you can use and the magnetic backing plate that is just so darn tiny. So while this microphone is extremely tiny, I kind of don't expect it to also last very long. Well, I didn't up until the point that I actually used it. While the charging case only has 500 milliamps, the entire system lasted me about 3 days. On and off recording, yes, but for those that just want a quick run and gun and something that's easy to use, they lasted pretty decently. And if I'm gonna be completely real, I actually have not charged this at all, and it's still indicating that I have a full battery life on the back here. Something to note? I don't know. Mind you, I did take this to Indiana and back. So, yeah. Now that we got the physical properties out the way, let's talk about the actual convenience of something like this. Now, as someone that brings multiple microphones on sets and when I'm traveling, this all-in-one solution was honestly it. I've never had a microphone that can act as a regular condenser mic or regular on-camera mic while also being a set of wireless lavs, and a set that is extremely tiny, if I may say. With a whole noise AI system built right in, you also have an audio limiter so that any audio that is peaking will automatically be adjusted in your camera. All right, something else to also note before we go is that there is actually a limiter built right into the system. So if you do have any kind of peaking going on in the microphone, or if you get really loud, the Boya mics actually are able to filter that out and kind of reduce and limit the sound peaking that is coming from the audio. That way your sound is actually usable without any kind of screw ups. And I know you guys like to screw up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and test it on the phone now, so. Now, more often than not, I found myself using a handheld microphone to help direct where my audio was going. It was kind of like I was booming my own audio with this, which was kind of cool and kind of like interesting, because with the fact that this is a wireless system, you don't actually have to plug it in and you can place this anywhere you want it to go. Now, after using it as a regular desktop or on-camera microphone, I will say the internal microphones or lav mics sound a whole lot different.
All right, so this is the audio coming from the Boya Magic. This is using the lav with a wind muff on right now. It's pretty windy out here. We have a lot of noise going on around us, so you can turn on the AI noise reduction. Now, this is how the audio sounds with noise reduction turned off, but if you go ahead and click it once, you now have noise reduction turned on, allowing it for a more clean and clearer sound. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the wind muff. There it is. All right, so with the wind muff off, this is how the audio sounds without a wind muff, but with noise reduction turned on. Now, if we go ahead and turn it off with that simple click, you can now hear this without any filters, without a wind muff on. This is how it exactly sounds on its own. Testing, 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 testing. This is how the audio sounds. On. Now, this is how the audio sounds. Very clear? I don't know.
Now, obviously using a set of lav microphones are a little bit more sensitive compared to your on-camera microphone, but that's kind of exactly what you want out of a microphone like this. You're not going to be getting the same kind of audio from both microphones because they're for different use cases. And that's exactly what you're kind of looking for out of a microphone like this.
Guys, is it recording? Is it actually recording? Okay, cool. All right, so now we have the microphone on and connected to the iPhone here. I have Cody over here helping me shoot this. This is how the audio sounds with me. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty good.
Clear, concise, nothing peaking. I think it's perfect for those that just want to do interview styles on the street, or even if you want to just go ahead and have something versatile for both a lav system and a microphone system when you're on the go. All right, so this is how the microphones sound with the condenser mic on or the on-camera mic turned on. As you can tell, this is how it sounds with me pointing the microphone directly at me. But if I start talking and point it away, you can't actually hear anything very well, right? This is a lot better here.
That's why you bring an on-camera microphone, or that's why you have a lav microphone, or even if you want to utilize the microphone on your mobile device. And me bringing all these options all the time, it's nice to know that everything can fit in this tiny form factor. Now, what's really nice about this microphone is the fact that it also auto connects at the same time. So while you might be using the condenser microphone, you can go ahead and open it up, pull a microphone out, and it'll actually switch between the two once you start using the two different sets.
All right, now we have the lav system activated here. This is how it sounds connected to the iPhone. It was pretty simple. All you have to do is just plug in that adapter and you're ready to go. But you can actually switch between the two systems or the two modes pretty fast. All you have to do is actually just take it out, put it in, and all of a sudden it's now connected to the real or actual physical case. But then you also have the fact that you can just pull out the microphones from the case and it'll also activate those instantly. So pretty cool that you can auto switch. You also have two, but this guy doesn't have one on him. Wait, what the heck is that?
So I had a continuous recording going on with the microphone originally, but then I switched on over to the lav microphones and they still connected completely fine. So kind of perfect for a run and gun. And that was only using it for a camera, because when you start using it for your iPhone, being able to capture like on-camera microphone quality plus lav microphones, that is really going to step up your game. So it's kind of nice having a regular microphone that you can hold, something that you can use on camera, and then completely a different way of capturing audio using your lav microphones included with it. Now, I know most of you are going to be complaining that it doesn't have internal recording, it can't record at 32-bit, but really, are you going to use that? Because as a professional and as someone that records audio and video all the time, I don't always use 32-bit, nor did the people back in the day as well. Not everyone had access to this new 32-bit that everyone likes, and while it is useful, you'll make do with this just fine. So with that being said, a microphone all-in-one, yes. Something that I would bring around, yes. And something that I will definitely keep in my bag for future use, yes. This just might make best travel EDC because this is pretty damn useful. Anyways, if you liked that review, go ahead and drop a like down below. And I just wanted to say thank you for supporting. And if you guys want to also subscribe, that would also be great. You don't have to, but that'd be great. Anyways, I am extremely tired and these contacts are drying my eyes out even though I just put them in for this video. And I'm, as usual, hungry. So I'll see you in the next one.